Who is the current face of British boxing? That is the question that we are going to be answering today in this video with me, your boy Enzo, the realest in the game. Welcome back to EMGM Sports, my people. How are you doing? Like I always say, smash the like button, drop your comments, and also if you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. This is the place that you want to be when it comes to combat sports news, analysis, and fight breakdowns, man. Listen, this story, I was reading it from the Ring magazine. They were asking the question on X, who is the current face of British boxing? Now, listen, for me, this type of question sounds too broad, man. Do you know what I mean? It's almost like too easy, but at the same time, a little bit complicated as well. Do you know what I mean? We need to put things into context as well. So when you ask a question, who is the current face of British boxing? Like, we need some context to it as well. Do you know what I mean? We need to know what we judging it by. Like, what are we going by? What is it? Is it in terms of who holds the most belts? Like, who's the champion and what weight division? Like, do you know what I mean? Who's won the most fights? Who's the most marketable? Do you know what I mean? Who's the more popular fighter? Who makes the most money? What is it? Who sells the most pay-per-views? Like, we need more meat to that bone. Do you know what I mean? When you say who's the current face of British boxing, for me, it's like, yo, do you know what I mean? It's too easy. Do you know what I mean? Like, we need to really dive into and really, like, you need to give us some bits. We need to know what we're actually judging these fighters by. Do you know what I mean? Because for me, if you ask my opinion, yeah, let me just quickly answer that and then we're going to delve into it proper, yeah? If you just ask me for my opinion, like, Enzo, yo, who's the current face of British boxing? Like me, I'm thinking popularity, pay-per-view sales, like, in terms of like income generated. Like for me, I'm saying AJ. Do you know what I mean? That's my answer. I'm thinking straight away, the name that comes at the top of my head, straight away, I'm thinking Anthony Joshua. That he must be the current face of British boxing. Do you know what I mean? But then again, when I say AJ, I'm going based on popularity, marketability, income generated. Like, I was just reading an article, like, I think yesterday or something, like, AJ was named like number 35, like the richest. Do you know what I mean? The richest man in Britain, like under 40. Like, he generated like $234 million like this year or last year or whatever. Or this year. $234 million. That's more than Fury, more than Dubois, more than all them guys there. Do you know what I mean? So AJ, in terms of like generating income, a lot of these guys don't come nowhere near him. Do you know what I mean? And also in terms of like marketability, AJ is like miles ahead of a lot of these guys. Because if we look at like brand endorsements, the deals that AJ has got, do you know what I mean? Some of the spaces and places that AJ can reach, a lot of the boxers in the UK can't. Do you know what I mean? And that's just AJ. AJ is just that guy. Do you know what I mean? He's always been that guy from the Olympics when Eddie Hearn picked him up, he turned pro. Like, AJ has always been able to sell pay-per-views. In fact, out of the 10, like, okay, let me say this. Out of the top 10 pay-per-view sales, yeah, in the UK, in terms of like big numbers, yeah, AJ's got 7 fights in there. 7 of AJ's fights, yeah, are 7 of the biggest in UK history in terms of pay-per-view sales. And the number 1 pay-per-view seller in the UK is Anthony Joshua. He sold what? 1.83 million pay-per-view sales when he fought Joseph Parker. And that was what, like 10 years ago? I don't know how long ago that was years ago. Do you know what I mean? And no one's come close since then. He's got other fighters in there like that he's sold millions with, like Vladimir Klitschko. Like, AJ is just that guy when it comes to marketability, when it comes to pay-per-view sales, when it comes to generating income through brand endorsements and other side businesses, whatever. AJ is just that guy. So for me, I'm saying AJ is the face of boxing in Britain currently, even though he got sparked out by Daniel Dubois last October. Do you know what I mean? So realistically, we should be saying Daniel Dubois, right? Because He's the IBF champion. He's the only British heavyweight with a belt. So it should really be him, innit? And look at the streak he's been in. Look at the people that he's been beating lately. And he's fighting for undisputed in July. So really and truly, yeah, Daniel Dubois should be carrying that flag, innit? As the face of British boxing. But why is Daniel Dubois not there? Why are people not really looking at Daniel Dubois like that? Do you know what I mean? Because Daniel Dubois is not marketable, man. Daniel Dubois doesn't really move like a champion. Do you know what I mean? He's not into that glamour lifestyle. Do you know what I mean? I don't see Daniel Dubois with the sort of endorsements that AJ got, like Hugo Boss, Under Armour. Like, I don't see Daniel Dubois getting those type of deals, man. I don't know. Maybe like in terms of his personality, it's just not relatable, innit? He just doesn't put himself across in the media the way that AJ and Tyson Fury do. Do you know what I mean? Daniel Dubois, for example, yeah, when he dropped out of his fight against Joseph Parker back in February 22nd, he went MIA for like a month. We couldn't find the kid. He didn't say nothing, stayed quiet, didn't say no, absolute nothing. He let his coach, Don Charles, Frank Warren, they were doing all the talking for him. Daniel Dubois disappeared. Now for me, yeah, that's not how a champion behaves. If you want to be the face of British boxing, you need to be accessible, man. Like, we need to be able to interview you. We need to see like a type of lifestyle like that goes with that belt for you to be the face of boxing. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can't just be the champion but then you disappear. We don't see you. You don't do a lot of media work. You don't do a lot of it. Only when you have a fight. Do you know what I mean? So Daniel Dubois is not really good at promoting himself, promoting his brand, putting his personality across. That's why a lot of the fans can't gauge with him. Do you know what I mean? A lot of the fans don't really understand Daniel Dubois. We admire Daniel Dubois as a fighter. He's very talented. Do you know what I mean? We can see from his latest results, like what he's been beating people, smashing people up, especially someone like AJ. Took him apart. We get that. But in terms of his personality, I don't know, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if there's something else there. Do you know what I mean? I don't know, but Daniel Dubois is just not that guy. So for me, AJ is still on top of that mountain. Like, he's still the guy. He meant Fury. Fury's there as well. Like, Fury knows how to sell his personality. Fury knows how to promote himself. He knows how to sell a fight. Do you know what I mean? Fury, a lot of the fans can relate to Fury. His story. Do you know what I mean? He's got humor, he's funny. Do you know what I mean? He's witty. Like, he's got all those personality traits that's needed to be the face of boxing in your country or your continent, whatever. Do you know what I mean? Because you can't just be the champion and, yeah, I'm the face of boxing. Nah, we need more than that. Do you know what I mean? It's like, if you ask me who's the face of MMA, like, do you know what I mean? Most people say it's Conor McGregor, man. And Conor McGregor ain't fought in years. He's always drunk. They're always on drugs, whatever he's taking, yeah. He's always in the news for all the bad reasons, yeah. And McGregor's still popular as ever. He's like, do you know what I mean? A lot of people, especially the casuals, gravitated towards MMA because of Conor McGregor. Like, he's the face of MMA, even though he hasn't fought in a while. Do you know what I mean? So, I'm even reading this story from Ring Magazine on X. And I'm looking at the comments, like, I'm just seeing AJ. Everyone is just saying AJ. You know what I mean? You can love or loathe the kid, whatever. You hate on him, whatever. Call him he's not talented. But you can't say AJ is not the guy that actually lifted British boxing, like, from the bottom. He lifted it up, carried it on his shoulders for years. He's the reason why a lot of these guys, a lot of these fighters that we see now, they're getting millions. Especially in the heavyweight division, let's be real. They wasn't getting that type of money before AJ came into it. Do you know what I mean? Let's keep it real. Let's give AJ his flowers while he's still here. Do you know what I mean? We might not all like him. We might not all think he's talented. Some people think he's trash, whatever, he's chinny. Say whatever you want, but one thing AJ can do, he can sell pay-per-views. He's very popular. Do you know what I mean? He's marketable. You can market AJ. You can give him all type of products, all type of brands. AJ will sell it. Because he's just that guy. He's got the whole personality. He's got the whole package. Do you know what I mean? Pause. But he's got the whole thing. Do you know what I mean? He can sell whatever. He can do whatever he wants. AJ is that guy. For me, AJ, if you're putting in simple terms, who's the face of British boxing? In simple terms, is Anthony Joshua. I'm not saying on merit in terms of fights and everything like that, holding a belt. Obviously, we can look at someone like a Daniel Dubois. We can look at someone like a Nick Boo as well. Do you know what I mean? A featherweight, is he featherweight, bantamweight? Yeah, whatever weight class Nick Boo fights. I know it's the little ones. But even Nick Boo, look like he's a champion. Look at the streak that he's been on. He's a savage. Like, would you say Nick Boo is the face of British boxing? Not for me. Because it's not as popular, innit? Do you know what I mean? We don't really, even me, like, I watch Nick Boo, but in terms of personality, is he really out there? Not for me, man. Another shout as well, Chris Eubank Jr. Look at what Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn did at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Do you know what I mean? They've done like 1 million pay-per-view sales. Well, that's what Eddie Hearn was saying. Do you know what I mean? So, Chris Eubank Jr., his popularity skyrocketed. Do you know what I mean? But is he the face of boxing? No, because a lot of people say, look, he's never been champion. Who has he really fought? Every time he stepped up against higher quality, higher opposition, another fighters that were champions or have been champions, he's lost. So Chris Eubank Jr., as much as he's got the popularity, as much as he's very marketable, he does well in selling pay-per-views and filling up arenas or stadiums, I don't make him the face of boxing. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's still AJ. He's still up there. Tyson Fury runs him a close second there. Do you know what I mean? But apart from that, I can't, from the top of my head, I can't really think of other British fighters right now, currently, that can be the face of British boxing that have done better than AJ in terms of the whole overall package. I don't know. You might have other ideas. Let me know in the comments. But for me, I'm saying AJ. Do you know what I mean? And the comments on the Ring Magazine X account, everyone's saying AJ, man. Everyone's saying AJ. But you never know. You see with Dubois, if he wins undisputed against Alexander Usyk July 19th, if he wins that, he becomes undisputed champion. Listen, automatically, yeah, via merit, because I'm all about meritocracy, he becomes the face of British boxing. That's just my opinion. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't matter what AJ does in terms of brand endorsements, income generated, his popularity. If Daniel Dubois becomes the undisputed champion, British undisputed heavyweight champion, and that hasn't been done since Lennox Lewis, yeah, for British fighters, Daniel Dubois becomes the face of British boxing. Do you know what I mean? But let me know, guys and girls. Let me know in the comments. Is there any other fighters that I missed out? Do you know what I mean? I named Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, #1. I got Nick Boo in there. Daniel Dubois spoken about. Chris Eubank Jr. Maybe you might add in Conor Benn in there. But let me know if there's other fighters out there. Maybe even someone like a Moses Saitoma who's coming up. Maybe he could be the face of British boxing in years to come. But I feel like he still needs some work to do in terms of like his popularity, his personality out there, and also challenge for titles. You know what I mean? So he's still young. He's got time to do it. Do you know what I mean? But let me know, guys and girls, let me know in the comments who you think is the face of British boxing. Thank you so much for watching EMGM Sports. I'll be back real soon with another one. Until then, stay blessed, my people. Peace.